In the next part, I think we want to implement, clicking on this or any event that we take the user to the event to view the details about the event. But before we implement that, I want to fix some of the issues like the visual effect. For example, I don't want to see the border of the card, and I don't want to see the border either, because if we look at meetup.com, so let me drag this over, you can see that here it looks much better without the border. And then about the titles of the event, they are showing it this way and there's time on it. I do want to show those information as well. And later when we have organizer information, I want to show the organizer information as well as the price if it's not free. Okay, so let's fix that issue first. Let's jump into Visual Studio here. And this is the place where we can try to manipulate the image. Right, so where is this? This is the discover event component. Right, we want to fix this. We have a very simple fix for the border. Let's try to use the border 0. We set the border to 0, and then it should look much better. Let's see what it looks like right now. Let's go over here and see after it reloads. So we still have this border. And this border comes from where? So this border is the border around this. So it must be this class that gives the border. If we remove this class, what will it look like? Let's take a look. Okay, so now you can see that the border is removed, and I just need to make sure that the breakpoints still work. You can see the size of the image changes, and everything still looks pretty good as we are resizing the browser, right? It looks just nice. The thing is that I think it looks different from here. You see, they have the rounded corner, and I want to give it rounded corner as well. So how do we do that? Let's do inspect and try to change it here so that we don't have to, load the page all the time. So let's come over here and try to edit the image element here. Let's add the class at the very end. So let's say class, and then I think there is a round, is it rounded or round? Maybe rounded class. And I just need to click somewhere else. So you can see that the rounded corner is added. So I think we just need to come over here. Is it on the image? I think so. So we can add the class back, and this time it's just rounded. And of course you can make it. There's different rounded 0 to, so you can have different ones. Let's just use rounded. I think that's enough. And let's run this. Just make sure that everything runs correctly. Now we have all of the images rounded corners. Of course, the placeholders doesn't actually show the rounded corner, but you can change the placeholders if you don't like this. But for the actual images, you can see that they are displaying nicely. Now for here, I don't want to show the underline, and I want to move it, closer to the image, because you can see that here we have the title displayed here, but everything is basically closer. So let's change that as well. So let's go over here. I think I'm going to change this. Instead of to use H5, which is too big, I want to use just the just a paragraph. Maybe not even use a card body. Let's remove this and see first of all whether our title actually is looking correctly now. So let's take a look. Okay, now you see everything. I mean, the title is getting very close to the image, and that's exactly what I want, I think. And let's go over here and see whether I can think of anything. I mean, if we look at this, is there anything that we want to adjust? Maybe we want it to be a little bit further away from the image. It's getting too close. So before we do that adjustment, I want to add the time, because in the, let's go back, sorry about that. Here, you can see that we have this time, begin time and begin date and begin time displayed right here. I want to display it as well. And then I want to keep a little bit gap between the date and time and the cover image. So I want to do the same thing here. But for that, I want to add another paragraph. And for this paragraph, I want to display the begin date. So for that, I can see ev dot begin date, and then maybe add a dash, and then we can say ev dot begin time. Yeah, I know we need to format the date and time, but let's run this first and just take a look at the layout. Okay, so we have this, and it's getting too close to the image, and also the gap between the title and the time is too big. So let's see whether we can fix that. We're gonna add some class here. So first of all, we want a gap between the image and the date time here. So I'm gonna add some margin here. So I'm gonna say margin top 1, right? And then the bottom, like the gap between these two elements are too big. So I want to minimize that. So I'm gonna say margin bottom, and I'm going to set it to 0. So what does it look like right now? Okay, now it looks not bad, right? But I don't want to have the underlines here. This is showing underline just because we have a anchor element here. So I can add, I think it's called non-decoration something. Yeah, this one. So text decoration none. So this will remove it. And let's run it again. Okay, so this is good. Now we want the title to be more prominent and the date and time to be less. So you can see that they are doing like a kind of gray out type of thing, and then the title is I think it's bolded. So we're gonna use bold here. So here, this is a bold, yeah, FW dash bold. And this one, we want to format it. How do we format it? The easiest way is to use explicit Blazor syntax. So I'm going to use explicit Blazor syntax around the whole thing. And then here, I'm going to say curly brace. And in order to format it, I'm going to just say, I'm gonna display the date format like this, and it doesn't like it because I forgot to add the double quote here. And for this one, I want to have a curly brace like this. All right, and the time format, I'm gonna say HMMTT, right? Because we're gonna use a similar date format like this, and we want it to go this correct? Not correct. So it's supposed to be right here, and then we should say to upper. All right, so everything changed to uppercase, and we want this to be grayed out. So we have something, I think it's text dash. I forgot the name of that. Let's scroll down. Light. Maybe muted. I think muted is the one, and let's give it a try and to see whether it becomes what I want. Okay, Sunday, June 8th. Okay, so this I think this is correct. Should I keep a space between? Yeah, I think I need to keep a space between the TT here. So let's run it again. Okay, so we have a space between the PM and the time. Same thing here, AM and the time. Okay, so that's pretty good. And we have a grayed out style here, and then we have the title in bold. So that's pretty good. I think I'm satisfied with this. Now we can work on actually viewing the event. So to actually view the event, we're going to create another slice, and we're going to call it a view event slice, right? We're going to have view event slice. So let's go ahead and try to create a view event slice under the features and add another folder, and we're going to call it view event. And we're going to create a page component. So this is going to be called view event component. We're using the same convention. Let's actually, I want to see what they do here if I click into it. So they have the event name right here on the top. So we can definitely do the same thing. hosted by. We don't have that information. We can have a similar layout, right? So perhaps we're going to use H2 according to what Meetup does. And then, but the first of all, this has to be a page component. And we also need to, before we go into details, we need to determine the URL. I think we're going to have something like this. So events, it's actually generating this for me. But, I like something like this, right? And then I'm going to have a parameter to receive that. And it's going to look like this. This is going to be our ID. But having, this folder structure, the root template here, I'm thinking I need to change something, because this is going to be /events, and then everything that starts with or contains this /event should be just a regular, should be just for users, for normal users, right? End users. For organizers, I'm just thinking about this organizer versus end users. So we have this view created events component here, and then we're using the similar URL here, and I don't think it makes sense. I think I want to change this to something like manage, right, /events. And even manage, I don't think this is a good URL, because we may want to use manage for system users, like an administrator or something. So I think I'm going to say organizers, or maybe just org. Org is fine, right? /org /events. And since I changed this to /org, then I would have to think about like navigations, right? So for edit service, I'm navigating to, do I have a navigation here? I don't. Okay, that's good. But here, I have navigates. So I need to navigate. I'm going to actually search this URL throughout the project, throughout the solution. And let's try to make this work better. So navigation, I'm going to change this to /org, right? And then delete. I'm going to change it to /org. I'm going to copy this and paste it in the next one. So this one, again, after editing, we're going to navigate, right? Navigate to /org /events. View created events also. So what is this? /event /edit. Okay. So I'm going to change this. And also this one. So because of that, well, here, let's go down. So this is the cancel, right? So we are heading the organizer events. And this is fine. This URL is fine. For edit, so for the page directive, I do need to change to /org /events. And for create, I also want to change it to /org /event. /org /events, yes. So since I have changed everything, I just want to run it again, go through all the scenarios, make sure that everything still works. So let's give it a quick test. All right, so we are here on the home page, and in order to go to the organizer events, I'm going to say /org /events, and then I'm here. Now, if I click the create new meetup, it takes me to this page, which is /org /events /create, and I'm going to say meetup 20, let's say meetup 22. And I'm just going to create it pretty quickly. So this one goes to 7, and this one maybe change to 50, right? Capacity 10, category in person, just give it an address, and we need to quickly find an image for it. Let's just use my logo. I don't know whether this works or not. That's fine. Click on this. All right, coming back is fine. Let's edit the event. Okay, editing is also okay. I'm going to change this to, let's say I'm going to add the address and click on update. Comes back, still fine. Right, go over here, and the address is also updated. Click on cancel, comes back correctly. And let's go add it again. Now let's try to delete it. So click on yes. Now it comes back to create events. That's also pretty good. I just need to make sure the final deletion, which is inside here, also works. So let's quickly create it again. 22 and change this one to later time. This one to 7. I'm going to keep that as 0. This one, and again choose something. I don't know whether this image is okay. No, this image is not okay. It's too big. So let's change to another one. Yeah, let's just use my image here. Now I want to try this one. Click on cancel. This is okay. Click on yes. It also works pretty well. Okay, everything works. So what I need to do now is I can then continue actually working on the view event, right? Because we have slash events, and the first thing I want to make sure is I just want to display the event ID. Actually, it actually showed this for me. Okay, I'm just displaying this ID for test purpose. But how do we navigate to over here? All right, we're going to navigate from the discover events component, and we have this. So we're going to say slash events slash, and we're going to take EV, right? An ID, which is the event ID. And that should be what we need. Run the application again, and we need to go to Meetup, right? This shows everything. I'm going to go to Meetup. Let's say we go to SQL discussion, and it displays number 15. This is number 15, right? Coming back, and this is number 13, and it's pretty good. And this is number 11. So, which means the navigation works. We just need to continue implementing the view created event component over here. So I'm going to use a defensive programming over here. Once we receive, so I'm going to say override. Okay, for some reason today it works. I don't know what happened the other day. These IntelliSense didn't show up. So I'm going to grab the information, like load the event directly from the database. And to do that, I'm going to create the view event service class here. So I'm going to say view event service and hit enter. And this is going to be pretty similar to the added event service, right? So I'm going to actually copy everything, copy the whole thing, coming back to view event service over here. And I'm going to change added event service to view event, the view event service and view event service. And I'm going to remove this because we're not going to update the event, right? We're only going to load the event. So we are facing this issue, right? We are actually duplicating the code, but should we actually worry about it? You know, the code that we are duplicating is really minimal. We're definitely just only using the repository, which is the context itself, to load the event entity, and we're doing nothing else with it. So I think we're totally fine. We don't have to create a shared entity, create a shared class and expose this in a different place. I think we can just duplicate this code. No problem with that. Okay, so let's come back to let's close this. We don't need it. We need it over here. So we can use the view event service, which we are going to dependency injected right here. So does it generate for me? It doesn't, but I'm going to say view event service. I'm not sure why it doesn't recognize it. View event service. It is right here. It has no problems. Let's say view event service. View event service. Now it recognizes just being very, very slow. That's fine. Let's close it. And coming back over here, we're going to dependency inject this service into it like this. And then I'm going to use it to get the event by ID. And when I'm passing in the ID itself on parameter set, which means that we already have the ID, so we don't even need to check whether the ID is greater than 0 or not. We can use it. And it's an async method, so I'm gonna say async over here, and then we are going to declare a event view model. So this is going to get a event object for me. I'm gonna say EV now because event is actually a keyword. So this is, what is it? This is a we gotta use await. Don't forget to use that. The typo is wrong. So EV is a event view model. Let's actually go inside here and see what is actually being returned. It's actually event view model, right? It's already converted. So I don't even need to declare that. I'm gonna just assign it directly to _ event view model. And then I can start using this event view model. What I want to do over here is to be defensive. I need to make sure that the event view model is not now. So when it's not now, what are we going to do? We are going to display the event title. So I'm going to say I'm going to say @ _ event view model, and then we display the title like this. So so far we coded a lot. We want to give it a test a little bit. We don't want to code too much before we test it, because otherwise we're dealing with too much code. Let's go to SQL discussion, and we're seeing this very nice title, and that's exactly what we want to have here. Maybe we can change to a better font family, but I'm okay with the default. Now we want to display the organizer information, but we don't have it. So what do? We can display a HR, right? Not the HR department, but our own HR line here. And after that, we can show the details of our event. And what do we do here to show the details of the event? We don't want to display all the information, right? We only want to have the title, the cover image. So we just need to display details. And in the future, when we implement registration, we can show the registered attendees. So here, the second one is going to be our image. So let's have our cover image displayed right over here. We're gonna have let's use a paragraph, and then I definitely think that it actually heard what I was trying to implement. So to prove that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say what I'm going to do next and see what it does. Okay, in the next paragraph, I want to display the details, which is the description of the event view model. So try to generate that code for me right now. Well, it didn't hear me. So anyways, I'm going to use this paragraph, and then I'm going to display the description of the event. So _ event view model dot description. Okay, so let's try to take a look at whether this is correct or not. The image, well, we don't have a description for the SQL event. Right? That's probably the reason why it's not showing anything. But let's go to events. No, not events. I forgot the folder structure now. So /org/events. Update this, and we're gonna give it a nice description here. Seeing the description like this, we want to perhaps have at least a text. What is it called? I suddenly forgot what it is. It's not an input, but it's a multi-line input. Text area, right? It's a text area. So let's go back and change this description. Right, so input text. I think there is something that I called input text. Input text area. So we can use this, right? And let's see the default layout. So okay, so this is probably not big enough. So we can have multiple lines. So let's say we want have rows. I think there is this. Let's say 10 rows. Okay. And it's going to make it taller. Okay, so 10 rows probably too much. 10 rows is probably too, well, I think we're gonna keep it as 10 rows. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just I'm gonna steal this information and I'm gonna paste it over here. I think I left this J and I'm gonna update it. Field is must be a string that is maximum 500. 500. Why did I leave it only at 500? Oh my goodness. Let's actually fix that problem. Where do we fix it? We're gonna go to event and 500 is to, let's say 4,000. Okay, 4,000 is our limitation here. And we need to use package manager to actually push a change. So I'm gonna say add migration extend description, event description and 4,000. Okay, so we are creating a new migration and let's take a look at the migration. So it says succeeded, but operation was scaffolded. Okay, no problem. So we are, so up, max length, 4,000. Drop, when I drop, right? I mean going down, maximum change back to 500. So let's go into here and just run update database, which is going to take the latest migration and just run it. Okay, so we are good now. And let's run this whole thing again. I believe it's gonna be much better now. Updated, I'm not too sure. So I'm gonna paste this whole thing. I'm gonna select better, it's better, and paste it over here. And I'm gonna click on update. This didn't update. Okay, let me close this, run it again. Okay, let's go to SQL. Oh, not here. We gotta go to org and / events. And then let's update this, see whether it accepts it or not. Still 500. Oh, that's probably because I did have a limitation on the UI side. So let's go over here. Is it because I have the limitation over here in the event view model? Oh, I do. So I got to change this to 4,000. Okay, so this should fix our problem. Okay, let's do this and then click on update. Begin date, end date. The begin date should be earlier than the end date. So, oh, yeah, because I updated the begin date, but I didn't update the end date. That's the reason, but that's fine. Okay, so let's go over here and you can see the text is right here inside the description field, and that's pretty good. And what I want to do is I want to go to the home page. Actually click on this home page and then let's go SQL, and then it's being displayed right here. So we have everything, stay together like this. So let's try to see whether we can preserve, preserve the formatting. So let's do inspect over here. So before we actually change it, let's go to inspect. So everything is using, like, it's wrapped by the paragraph element. Let's change it to preserve element. Did it change over here? It did. Okay, so I'm going to hit and click somewhere else, and you can see that the text is actually preserved, right? But the problem is that it doesn't actually wrap around. So we gotta add this again. So inspect, go over here, and let's actually add it as HTML. So I'm gonna add style over here, and let's say we're gonna have white space, and we're gonna enable wrapping. And for word wrap, we're gonna have break word. So this ensures that long words also wrap. So let's click somewhere else. Is it actually doing it? Did it actually keep what I had? Oh no, I think I entered something wrong. It should be pre-wrap and break word. So that's that's okay. Let's change it. Okay. So now, yeah, now everything looks fine. Like if I make it even smaller, you see that the text is actually wrapping properly. Okay, so now let me move that into my code. So I'm gonna select everything here, and then let's go to the code. And where is it? Our view. And I'm gonna change the description to use preserve, and we have style like this. And let's run it again. Okay, so it's displaying everything correctly now, right? And our HR line is right here. And let's take a look at this. It says details, and we might want to also say details like that, right? So let's go over here and change this one. I'm gonna say, age 6 details. Maybe we want to add a line break over here to keep a gap. Okay, so that's pretty good. Yeah, and later we're gonna add attendees. For now, we are good. So let's go back to Meetup. Let's go to Meetup 20, and we have some, these details displaying right here. This one, Meetup 6, doesn't have any details. Sickle still have meetups, still have details. And if we want to, add it, we just go to org, and let's say we go to Meetup 20, and we take a different description, which is still some other description. I hope they don't mind. This is really not, it's not showing. So in-heart music, I think I'm actually promoting their event anyway, so I don't think they mind. Let's click on update. Oh, my end date again is wrong. I think this is May 26th. All right, click on update. We're good. Going back to Meetup, and information is preserved. So let's go to Meetup homepage and go to Meetup 20, and we do have our detailed information along with the format. See, even the font is preserved. That's pretty good. All right, that's everything I think I want to cover in this video. I'll see you in the next one.